Caleb Tallman, TeamFYNSports. I am joined by Deana King of NCPreps, longtime runner of the NCPreps website. Deana is also a Starmount football expert. She was just telling me, you said you've been doing stats for Starmount going all the way back to 1995, right?
Yes, sir. Been involved with the football program. Was lifelong Starmount. Really loved Starmount athletics, football. Grew up a huge football fan. Been tied with the football program for a long time.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you joining us, and Deanna's gonna share some info on Starmount for us for all our Western North Carolina football fans, Smoky Mountain Conference fans. But before I get started, I just want to ask you, because I know you've been moderating our crazy Western North Carolina bunch for a long time. Just tell me your general thoughts on the Smoky Mountain Conference as a whole, maybe especially football, because that's what we're in right now, but just as a whole.
Very passionate fan base. I mean, you said it. The message boards on Friday nights. I always have a large contingent of fans from the Smoky Mountain. I've met several of the fans from the Smoky Mountain Conference. Starmount has had some tradition with some of those Smoky Mountain teams, especially Swain County and Murphy. Andrews, this will be the first ever matchup in football between the two schools, but everybody knows that in 1A football, the Smoky Mountain Conference is the cream of the crop. I mean, nobody can match their hardware in the trophy cases, and it's very well respected up here in my area.
Absolutely. Go ahead and share with us, if you don't mind, what we're going to be seeing from Starmount schematically. Offensive, what they run, defense, what they run. We know Andrews will run their traditional veer and their traditional 4-3 or 4-4 defense. They're pretty old fashioned. What's Starmount look to do offensively and defensively?
Well, Starmount's coming in 7-4. They've won 5 straight. They've really hit their stride since getting beat down by Mount Airy, who's one of the top seeds in the playoffs. But Starmount runs a spread offense. They like to mix it running and passing. So they average around 173 yards on the ground and 96 passing, around 270 yards total. And they're on defense. They run like a 3-4. So they give up 146 yards rushing, 82 passing, 228 total yards. So Starmount knows that Andrews is a very physical team, a typical Smoky Mountain team that loves the running the ball. But Starmount is probably going to be a lot smaller size-wise than Andrews, but they're going to make up that with some speed, especially in the skill positions.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, some of those skill positions and such, what you mentioned some team stats. What are some stats and some key players that folks are going to have to watch out from Starmount on Friday night? Like, who are their stars and such?
When you start on the offensive side, you got to look at junior running back Zach Dezern, a 6', 170 running back. He's ran the ball 225 times for 462 yards and 17 touchdowns. He's an excellent target in the backfield. They line him up a lot of places out wide and everything. He's caught 25 passes for 263 yards. The Rams goes as Zach goes, and he's had some really big games this year, multiple touchdown games against several opponents. So he's the main cog for the Starmount offense. Junior Luke Kimmer at quarterback. He's improved as the years gone by. He's raised his passing completion percentage, hitting well over 50%, close in on about 1,000 yards, and has 5 touchdowns. And one go along with Zach Dezern, Davion Coleman, a wide receiver, 6'3", 175 senior. He's the top target for Kimmer, 30 or so receptions for nearly 300 yards. So those are the guys on offense that Andrews fans, coaches should be on the lookout for. Defensively, Starmount. They're led by Caden Abernathy, a defensive lineman. He's one of their top tacklers. Also, Zach Armstrong, a junior linebacker, number I believe he's 56. He's another big player on the defense that mans the center of the defense. And then Coleman also excels on defense as well. 7 interceptions, one of the top kids in the state interception-wise. And Starmount has caused a lot of interception. They got 20 interceptions, one of the tops in the state in turning the ball over. One of the big things for Starmount, they got a plus 17 turnover ratio margin. So they like to make some big plays on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just as you're mentioning the key players, I know for Andrews, they've had some of their star players banged up throughout the year this year, but Andrews is as healthy as they are right now since they upset Mitchell at the beginning of the season. How's the health over there in Starmount?
I think they're pretty good, in pretty good shape. They had some kids miss out with some sickness, but overall this year Starmount's been pretty healthy. They didn't have any injuries in the game against South Stanley and got to play a lot of their substitutes since it was 51-0 at halftime. They got a lot of their reserves in and didn't have to use their starters. So very highly doubt that that's going to be the situation because they know what time team Andrews is, and I'm expecting Andrews. This Starmount Andrews is going to be one of the top games in the 1A this Friday.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think on Friday night, between the East and West, only one lower seed team won. Kind of shows that maybe we should look at 32 for playoffs. But go ahead, give us some keys to the game. I know you've mentioned a few. Obviously, Starmount having a high turnover margin as far as not turning the ball over and getting lots of turnovers themselves. What you think some other keys to the game are, and then if you're willing, you can give us a prediction, or you can shy away from a prediction. I do that sometimes myself because I think this one's going to be as close as a game as we'll see Friday night. I have a feeling.
Well, Starmount's going to have to play physical. They're going to have to match the Wildcats up front. We know that they're very good up front and got that great running back and rushing attack. They're going to have to stop that, and they got to play mistake free. They've had some issues sometimes with some penalties and everything, and trying to create turnovers. I figure even though Starmount is the higher seed, most people have Andrews favored, and I probably agree with that because Andrews they've been battle tested. When you go through the Smoky Mountain League and you beat a Murphy and you played Mitchell and stuff like that, they're battle tested. Not saying Starmount has it either because they're 3 of the teams that they lost to are still playing, and East Surrey and Forbush are 2 the top in the 2A divisions around here, and they're facing each other. So Starmount, and they played them earlier in the year. So, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, and just a tough, old fashioned type football game that most people love to see. That really. If Starmount can stop that rushing attack, they have a great chance to win. I mean, I'm not going to, I'm considered like Miss Starmount here, so I'm not going to go on a broadcast and pick against my Starmount round. So I will say Starmount will win a close one, but it would not surprise me to see Andrews win as well. So I'm hoping for a good injury-free game up here in Boonville, and for all the fans in Andrews that are going to make the trip, you guys have a safe trip. I know it's a long trip. I've been to Murphy a couple times and been through your little town up there and beautiful country. So you guys have a safe trip up this way.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us, Deana, and I would agree. I think we're looking at a 1-score game, and it's gonna be really close. But we look forward to all the coverage that you provide us on NCPreps, and we look forward to the coverage we'll be able to provide on Friday night here at TeamFYNSports. Thank you so much for graciously providing us with some of your time. I know your schedule's crazy.
Well, thank you for having me, and anytime that you need me to come on, I'm more than willing to help you guys out. Thank you.
Appreciate it.